Hi, my name is Cagiltay, and in this presentation I'll be discussing our work with our collaborators Joe Michaelis, Sarah Sibo, and Bengisu for exploring children's preferences for taking care of a social robot. Typically, human-robot interactions focus on robots designed for giving some sort of service or care to its users, such as a robot assisting nurses in a hospital, a robot giving directions at an airport, or carrying patients to their bed. So, what do we mean by taking care of a social robot? Similar to a connection between a parent and a child, or the friendship between a person and a pet, we aim to explore how meaningful, lasting, interpersonal connections might be formed between children and robots through the act of caretaking. We approach this by exploring the design of a robot capable of receiving care rather than simply giving care. Motivated by this idea, we asked the following research questions to form our work. What type of in-home robot caretaking tasks will be performed regularly by children? And how can we design robot caretaking tasks with children to foster interpersonal connections and long-term use of the robot? As a first step towards addressing these questions, we conducted an exploratory design study. We first interviewed families focusing on the types of caretaking tasks children would prefer and how these care obligations would fit in their daily routines. We then conducted a brief feasibility study that tested two types of caretaking tasks, and we measured how children perceived the robot and how close they felt to the robot after completing the care tasks. We invited 8 families and in total of 11 children between the age of 10 to 12 for a study, which lasted around 1 to 1.5 hours. In our interviews, we asked children, what are the current chores, tasks, and responsibilities you would take care of at home? And took notes of each care task mentioned by the participants, along with how often each care task was conducted and by whom. We then presented a powered-down social robot and described its capabilities, followed by going over the list of each caretaking task and chore that was shared earlier, and asked if and how these tasks and chores could be transferred to taking care of a social robot. Finally, we discussed 3 routines, a morning, nighttime, and playtime routine, and asked the child how their routine would be shaped by including the previously discussed robot caretaking tasks, and we took notes of the steps the child described for each routine. Children and parents were encouraged to discuss the tasks throughout their interviews. In our first discussion session, the most commonly discussed caretaking tasks were feeding, playing, cuddling, or paying attention and love to pets, babysitting younger siblings, tidying up rooms, toys, bookshelves, clothes, making their bed, helping with household maintenance tasks like laundry or garbage disposal. From our second discussion session, children most commonly associated tasks that took care of the robot's basic needs, while also considering some socially demanding tasks as a part of robot caretaking responsibilities. The most commonly discussed robot caretaking tasks were feeding the robot by charging it, cleaning the robot by dusting or wiping it, protecting the robot from crashing, falling, or from other pets. Families also suggested taking care of a robot would require preparing the robot's bed or cleaning its sheet, helping the robot fall asleep or wake up, and making sure the robot is treated kindly, gets attention and love, gets along with other pets, and is nice to people. Finally, children discussed how they would include robots into their daily routines, for example, morning, nighttime, and playtime, creating a personalized robot care routine. The robot care activities included in the morning routines focused on waking the robot up and making sure the robot is ready for the day, feeding or charging the robot, cleaning or dusting the robot, morning exercise with the robot, and playing, chatting, reading with the robot during the day. In their nighttime routines, children discussed tasks such as feeding or charging the robot, cleaning or dusting the robot, preparing the robot's bed and putting the robot into bed, and shared bedtime activities such as reading, playing, watching movies, listening to music together with the robot. Also, nearly half of the children suggested the robot should have a protective box or a safe blanket that would be used as a bed for the robot, where it would be kept clean, protected from other pets, or protected by other things the robot is scared of, such as thunderstorms at night. As part of their play routines, children discussed carrying the robot to the playroom, preparing and tidying up their play area, teaching or playing a game with the robot. Later, we explored how these care tasks would be applied by conducting a feasibility study. We randomly assigned participating children in a connection or utility condition. The connection tasks focused on caretaking activities that emphasize social connections and closeness between the robot and child. Activities were selected based on high levels of touch and care directed at the robot. Utility tasks focused on caretaking tasks that were useful or helpful to the robot. Activities include chore-like tasks that involved cleaning and organizing the environment of the robot. Connection participants were provided with a task sheet, a box of books as a bookshelf, and a paper cutout of pajamas, a blanket, bed sheets for the robot, and the task sheet had 3 written instructions. First, put Mickey's pajamas on and prepare the bed. Second, pick a book and read it to Mickey until it falls asleep. Third, once asleep, hug Mickey, place him on the charging pad, and use the blanket to tuck into bed. Similarly, utility participants were provided with a task sheet, a box of books as a bookshelf, laundry basket, and paper cutouts of toys and clothes for the robot. The task sheet had 3 written instructions. Organize Mickey's bookshelf from largest to smallest book. Pick a book and read it to Mickey until Mickey falls asleep. Once he's asleep, clean up his toys and take Mickey's dirty clothes to the laundry. We coded the video data from our sessions and identified the following observations. Parents' roles within the feasibility study was mostly passive and observant. Sometimes parents suggested new ways to complete the task, responded to questions, and motivated the child to complete the tasks. Children successfully completed the care tasks in their assigned conditions. For example, in the utility condition, siblings were observed to take turns within the task, or some children in the connection condition petted the robot's head after the tasks, or said good night, or whispered with their parents after the robot fell asleep. We measured robot perceptions and closeness with the robot through surveys. Our questionnaire findings revealed the following insights. Overall, the exploratory findings from our surveys suggested that children in the utility condition perceive a robot more sociable and intelligent when conducting caretaking tasks that are aimed to be useful or helpful to the robot. Children in the connection condition felt closer to the robot with higher levels of comfort with the robot and felt as they were becoming friends. Finally, we discussed our design recommendations for social robot caretaking tasks. Discussions about personalized robot care routines revealed that children are generally willing to take care of the social robot when needed. However, many children admitted that it might be challenging to maintain the caretaking tasks without having a routine. Children mentioned that they might need help from their parents to remember taking care of the robot or to carry the robot up or down stairs. Some children prefer taking care of the robot in their morning routines over nighttime routines, stating that nighttime is my time to relax and to get some sleep, while other children shared opposite opinions, expressing that mornings might be difficult because they need to get ready for school. In general, children expressed that they enjoyed the activity of taking care of a social robot, regardless of the condition they were assigned to. While children in this age range were able to complete all caretaking tasks, it is possible that younger children might find some caretaking tasks more challenging and older children might find them trivial. So robot caretaking tasks should be tailored for different times of the day, adapting to the child's routine, for example, by learning their preferences over time, and requiring minimal help from the parents or caregivers, while families might benefit from having a shared activity of taking care of the robot, which is led by the child, And finally, care tasks should have age-appropriate designs for primary users and siblings in the household. Thank you for watching.